Welcome to Riftlab, where we cover all things Riftbound. Today we'll talk about what this legend does, how to play them, and choose the best cards for their deck. Teemo is one of my favourite legends in the game, as his domains allow for a really fun choice of cards and there's multiple fun options to build him. Teemo's ability lets you tap one energy to hide a card instead of recycling a card, and with Teemo's deck utilizing many of these, it saves you a lot of resources. His second ability lets you tap one energy, tap your legend, and put a Teemo unit into your own hand from your champion zone or the board. One thing that some don't know is that you can actually play him directly hidden using his legend ability. Teemo uses the Mind Domain and the Chaos Domain for its runes. The core strategy of Teemo can vary depending on your deck, but still work in a similar way. You essentially want to establish early control of battlefields, then play hidden cards using energy cost from your legend ability, and surprise your opponents and have them guess what you have, as there is a variety of hidden cards that are possible to be played. An alternative way of playing is by using the Nocturne unit. When you reveal him, not draw, while looking at cards from the top of your deck, you are able to instantly play him for 1 power recycle. Pair this up with Teemo's strategist, so every time he defends or is played from hidden, reveal the top 5 cards of your main deck, then deal damage for each hidden card and recycle them. In this scenario, if you pull out a Nocturne, you can instantly play them into the battlefield and potentially skew the entire outcome of the fight. For the turn order, I think that going first is a must. If you do not gain early control of battlefields, then you will struggle to conquer them back, but once you set up, it's quite easy to defend with all the tools that Teemo has to offer. Some strong battlefields to choose would be Zorn Warrens. When you conquer, discard 1 then draw 1. This allows you to discard cards which will come in useful later if you're playing Mundo. The Dreaming Tree. The first time you choose a friendly unit with a spell here each turn, draw 1. And for the last battlefield, the Bandle Tree. You may hide an additional card. This is a very cool battlefield and also usually scares opponents, forcing them to try and conquer it straight away to take it away from you. In the early game, you need to start with a playable hand in turn 1, and then establish early control of battlefields. You want to play the Ravenbloom Student, Traveling Merchant, and then the turn after, conquer one of the battlefields and instantly play hidden cards. Establish that control and make your opponent guess what you have. Whether it is your Teemo from your champion zone, or a card like Blaskone Fate or Consult the Past, just put anything in there. For the mid game, I'd keep a hold of hidden cards such as Fight or Flight available for when your opponent starts getting more scary units. A cool combo to play is using Sprite Mother, getting a free Might Sprite, conquering with it, and then placing down a hidden unit card that you can react with next beginning phase to still secure the point, where the sprite usually would kill itself before that happens. Ember Monk is also extremely strong. Each time you play a card from hidden, give it +2, and this works if you also react with a card from another battlefield. When you hit late game, take advantage of your heavy hitters such as the Thousand-Tailed Watcher to take back control, and with the amount of cards you should have in your trash, the Dr. Mundo becomes a monster. I've seen it at 25 plus might multiple times, and it's near impossible to kill, and could easily change the entire outcome of the game for you. I'd also utilize Singularity 2 if you play it, which allows you to deal 6 damage to 2 units. That can easily take out 2 Dariuses for example, and would potentially force some cards to be played from your opponent's hand. In terms of the strengths for Teemo, he is very good against inexperienced players or one-tricks who don't really know what cards are available in other domains. This means you can play your hidden cards and then your opponent will not know what they are. Teemo is also very good against legends who need to ramp their runes, as it gives you a lot of time to play and use your strategy. Teemo also has some very strong high might units which might surprise people. You might think Teemo, low cost units, a lot of hidden cards, but then when the Mundo comes out, when the Thousand-Tailed Watcher comes out, you're screwed. Some weaknesses I would say is that when you're behind, you are very, very weak and prone to losing. You don't really have any comeback mechanics and conquering battlefields will be pretty difficult. Teemo can also be shut down very early. If you try and conquer a battlefield early on and you get shut down and then your opponent controls both battlefields, I would say it's pretty much GG from that point onwards. Now to suggest some cards to use when playing Teemo, let's start off with spells. Stack Deck allows you to get a better hand. Stupefy, -1 might and you draw a card. Gust, strong to defend against early units, or to stop the opponent from conquering a battlefield. Use it turn 2 or 3 and make sure you are able to then conquer the exact battlefield you want. Consult the Past, draw 2 cards and also confuse your opponent as they might not know what hidden card you've played. Invert Timelines, discard hands, draw 4. Can be super strong if your opponent has a big hand and you don't. Fight or Flight, my favourite card and probably the strongest in the Chaos domain. Move a unit from a battlefield to its base. You can basically stop a conquer, and if you're playing against like a Volibear, just use that card and then it's just over for them. Guerrilla Warfare, return up to 2 cards with hidden from your trash to your hand. You can ignore hide cost this turn. Super strong if you have some good cards in your trash like Fight or Flight. Retreat, Return a friendly unit to its owner's hand, then channel one rune exhausted. Useful if you have a Mundo or a Mind Splitter especially, and can save them from certain death. Now, for the units you can play when playing Teemo. Teemo Strategist. Use this when playing in combination with Nocturne. When I defend or am played from hidden, reveal the top 5 cards of your deck, deal 1 to an enemy unit here for each hidden, then recycle them. If you reveal a Nocturne in this phase, you are then allowed to play him directly into the battlefield. It's really cool. Nocturne has ganking, and when you look at the top cards from your deck and don't draw them but see Nocturne, you can play him for 1 power recycle. Teemo Scout. When you play me, give me +3 this turn. Really cool card that you can play directly from your champion zone, so turn 2 if you went first you can reinforce your battlefield to become a 5 to 6 might strong, and your opponent can't kill your Teemo as it remains hidden and untargetable by spells. Blastcone Fae, a hidden card that gives -2 might to a unit when played. Ember Monk, an extremely strong must-have card. When you play a card from hidden, give me +2 this turn. You can play cards from both battlefields, give +4 might in a single turn, and also +6 if you have the Bandle Tree battlefield, as you can play 3 cards instead of 2. Combine that with your legend ability, you can just return Teemos, put them back hidden, and then react with them the next turn, and then get a +2 on your Ember Monk all the time. Riptide Rex, heavy hitter. If you need it, it deals 6 damage when you play him to a unit at a battlefield. Mind Splitter. Super cool card, allows you to look at your opponent's hand and discard a card. Also a very high might strong unit. Dr. Mundo, the tankiest card in the game. You gain 1 might for each card in your trash, and when you get that out, combine it with playing hidden cards, that battlefield is basically unkillable. And lastly, Rossa the Sunderer. I cost 1 less for each card in your trash. This is a super fun card too. It's 10 energy and 1 chaos power cost, which turns into just 1 power cost later on in the game, so you can play the 6 might unit for free. Combine this with the Mind Splitter, the Mundo and Riptide Rex, you can make a really good deck that focuses on playing stronger units rather than playing for the Nocturne as an example. In terms of matchups, Teemo is exceptionally strong against Volibear and Misfortune, or anybody who needs to ramp. This is because they need to have time and take turns to get all of their runes available, and then enough energy to spend it on their units. But by that time you can control both battlefields and take a huge point lead, and then when they try to attack, just fight or flight them back, it's just over for them. Brawlers like Master Yi, Set and Darius I would say is a 50-50 matchup. If you don't get the early battlefield control, it's pretty difficult to, conquer it back. So Master Yi especially is very strong as he gains +2 might when defending alone. You pretty much can't get that battlefield back. Some really difficult matchups would be Annie and Kai'Sa, or anybody who has removal spells. They're super strong as they can just spam their spells and kill your units very early without losing tempo, and then get ahead very fast. So most decks, like I said, with removal spells are very strong against Teemo.